Hey guys, this is Blake with the Three-Hand Hunter channel, and I want to welcome you to the very first episode of Ad Hoc Horology. Now, this is basically off the cuff, and it's unscripted, and I wanted to talk to you about certain subjects sometimes. And you know how I originally thought about making one of these is that when Swatch and Blancpain released their Swatch Pawn, I guess. Anyway, I wanted to make a video really quick to say, you know, if you can find a Helm Miyako, they basically have the same looks. Maybe it's not as cool. I don't know. It's up for you to decide. But why wouldn't you spend the same amount of money if you can find one of these that are arguably harder to find than the Swatch Pawn and get a Helm Miyako? Yeah, same looks, right? It's kind of like the JLC meets a Blancpain. So anyway, that's what got me thinking. I'd love to make some just off the cuff videos for you and talk about certain subjects, and hopefully you'll learn something along the way that you didn't know before. So if you like that type of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, this video is specifically about the Helm Miyako, which I've never filmed before. I've loved this watch, but there's a lot of really good content on the Helm Miyako, and if you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. This is like my vacation watch. You know, I'm not going to do a full review on this watch for you just because, like I said, there's a lot of great reviews out there, but I wear this watch quite a bit. It's really sturdy. It's really beefy. It's my vacation watch. It's beautiful. I really love the styling of it. And I love the fact that it was named after an island in Taiwan, or off the coast of Taiwan. It's just a really, really cool watch. But that's not the reason for this video. The reason for this video is, you'll notice it has an Uncle Seiko bracelet. Now, this video is not sponsored by Uncle Seiko. I actually have several Uncle Seiko bracelets and a lot of Uncle Seiko straps that I've bought over the years. So I really like the brand, but what you'll notice is it's fitted on this Helm Miyako. Now let's talk a little bit about that and why I did it. First of all, this is not my first Helm. If you never saw my review of the Helm Komodo, which was a really cool watch, but there's one thing that I didn't really like about it. The lume is like out of control on these watches. I mean, you know, when you blow a torch on these, they glow forever, even with this Fotina. And so I love that about the Helm. The Komodo was awesome, but the bracelet that came on the Komodo didn't taper at all. Now, the Miyako bracelet does taper. It's a 22 millimeter to 20, right? You can see that mine actually still has plastic on it. And the reason why I did that is because I love dramatic tapers on bracelets. And one of the things about the Uncle Seiko Z199 is it tapers from 22 millimeters to 18. Now, that to me is a lot of comfort. Now, some people don't prefer that much of a taper, but you know, if you have ever had a Rolex or maybe you know, a vintage Tudor, or you know, I haven't had a newer Tudor yet, like a Black Bay or anything, but they do dramatic tapers as well. The reason why is because it's super comfortable. Now, the problem is that if you have a big taper or dramatic taper like that, you know, the watch, like if you have a heavy watch head, it tends to be a little top heavy. I'll put it on my wrist here in a second, but in this case, I'd rather have it a little top heavy, but more of a comfortable dramatic taper on my wrist. Now, I'll put it on my wrist here in a second, but I wanted to show you specifics about this this bracelet. So you'll notice how well it fits the Helm. Now, you'll also notice that the brushing is a little different, you know, from the lugs on the Helm to what you'll see here on the Uncle Seiko, which is not uncommon when you have an aftermarket bracelet. You know, if you've ever had strap code bracelets, by the way, I've had and have actually several strap code bracelets. When you match them up against a Seiko, you know, a lot of times that the finishing is just not the same because it didn't come from the same factory. But I usually wear this this bracelet, the Z199, on my SKX on my SKX 007 right here. Now, what you'll notice is the case shapes, even though this is a 42 millimeter, this is a 40 millimeter case, the lugs are kind of close. Because I was thinking when I got the Helm Miyako, Matt over at Helm, I've had communications with him personally, but you know, I've also seen, you know, interviews or videos with him or interviews, and I think he takes a lot of his styling cues off of Seiko. So I was looking at these two cases, and I was looking at the lugs, and I'm like, man, they look fairly similar. So what I did is I took the Z199 off of the SKX, I put it on the Helm, and lo and behold, look at that fitment. Look at how perfect it fits. And this is using the Seiko fat spring bars, as you can see here. Really snug fit. And I was thinking, probably what you're thinking right now. Wait a second. If that fits, that fits here, and I have an old SKX or maybe, you know, some of the new Seiko 5 Sports, and I have all these Uncle Seiko bracelets like this President's one, why don't I just try to put this over here? Well, I thought the same thing. So I'm going to show you something a little unique about the Z199. All right, you'll notice right here, let me grab this tool. You'll notice right here that the bracelet has a really thick, lip. Actually, I'll pull it off for you so you can see it. Now remember, I'm doing this on camera, so it's not going to always be super easy by doing this, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay. You'll notice right here that on the Z199, there's this huge lip right there. Right, big lip on the bracelet. Now, if you go over to the President's, there's not a huge lip. Let me zoom in here. Okay. Oops. It's one of the fat spring bars. You'll notice it's not a huge lip right there. It's just actually a small lip. So the problem is, and this is going to look kind of funny when I do it, but you'll get the gist of what I'm trying to do here. You'll notice that the end links fit great, and you're like, wow, okay, great, this is going to work. But because that lip is not as big, you'll notice here when I do it, because the lip is not as big, even though it fits, it really doesn't, because now you're going to see that because there's no lip, and let me make sure I'm zoomed in, it opens up, and you can see it won't fit. It fits flush against the case, but it won't hold, unfortunately. And so that's the difference between the Z199 and the President's bracelet. Now, one of the other reasons why, and I need to mention this because I think it matters. One of the other reasons why I put the Z199 on the Helm versus the Helm bracelet is because it is going to wear closer to a Jubilee on this Helm, or on this on the Z199, because, let me make sure that those are in. Because the links themselves of the bracelet are thinner. So you can see how these are thicker links. The President is a very heavy bracelet. You can see the links they're quite thick. The Z199, these links are a little thinner. So if you weigh the bracelets, it's gonna weigh a little less. And this has a really heavy head on this Helm. This is a head. The watch head is extremely heavy. So, you know, adding more weight to it with a President's or with its original bracelet, this is going to shave off a few grams just because the bracelet's a little thinner. It's like I said, it's like a Jubilee. So I'm going to take what I've got on my wrist off, and this is the Saytona Solar Speedmaster. I love this watch. And you'll notice I don't have it on its original bracelet because the original bracelet for the Seiko Z199 is a non-taper bracelet. It's just a straight 20 millimeters, you know, from the lug opening all the way to the clasp on the bracelet. I love a taper, whether it's a bracelet, whether it's leather, whether it's FKM rubber. I like to have a taper. You have taper because it makes it more comfortable. And when you have more dramatic taper, Rolex has figured it out. When you go from 20 to 16, or you go from 22 all the way to 18, the comfort you get on your wrist with a bracelet is so much greater. And I don't know why more watch brands don't do that, but you'll see dramatic taper, super comfortable. And you'll notice when it's on my wrist, is it a little top heavy? Does it give it a little bit more jiggle because it's not as thick around the wrist? Maybe, but the comfort level is there, and I think it looks phenomenal. This is really one of my favorite looks. Is the brushing perfect from the Z199 to the case? No, it's not perfect, but only you and I are going to notice that. No one else is going to notice it, right? And that's the thing, and it's going to be super comfortable. And so I guess the point is here, if these are only the two Uncle Seiko bracelets I have here, but if you have a Seiko SKX or a new Seiko 5 Sports, and it does have a bracelet, and you have a Helm Miyako, try them out. See if it fits. See if you can get a good fit in there. And I think that's a great reminder that you should take a look in your watch box and see what you have that have similar lug openings. You might actually find a good fit somewhere. So anyway, I hope you learned a little bit in this ad hoc video. And if you liked it, make sure you give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And let me also say this: if you've made it this far, let me introduce myself. My name is Blake. I'm a bit of a watchaholic, as you can clearly see. And if you made it this far, I think you are one too. So if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if you've had any experiences with the Miyako, Uncle Seiko bracelets, compatibility issues, or things that you found. I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure other viewers would love to hear it as well. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for spending your time with me. I'll see you in the next ad hoc episode, coming up hopefully in a week.